Hey everyone, welcome to The Roadmap, Benzinga's new NFT show. We've had some great teams, great interviews on past episodes. The teams behind Pixel Vault, Art Blocks, Robotos, The Doge Pound, Oniforce, Crypto Dads, Lazy Lions, Supduck, Wall Street Bulls, and more. Joining us on the show today, Sappy Seals. You don't want to miss this interview. Let's get it started. This is The Roadmap. All right, guys. Yeah, you heard me say it. The Roadmap, Benzinga's new NFT show, currently airing Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube. We also are a podcast available on all major podcast platforms, so feel free. You can listen to this after. And as always, you can watch the replay on YouTube as well. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on our show co-host, Maz. Maz, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Feels good to be back, man.
It does. You know, it's been a long time. We were talking about this before the show started, right? We haven't done an episode since Wednesday, so a little bit of a gap there. But it's nice to be back, and there's a lot happening with NFTs, which we're going to get into after today's interview. I mean, again, you're seeing major brands launch NFTs. Definitely an exciting space to be in right now. Maz, before we go into the interview, I know we got a lot of people watching here. We got to get some likes going, guys. Go ahead, smash that like. Get YouTube warmed up here so everyone can find this video. Share it with your friends and make sure you subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel so you can get all these great NFT videos available with your notifications on. Mass, Sappy Seals, right? You know, we've had some great teams on before. This is another big one, a big community. They've got over 23,000 in their Discord, over 19,000 followers on Twitter. It minted in late August. We've got a floor price of 0.145 today, assuming that OpenSea is working properly. I mean, I'm excited for this one. A big team and a great community out there. I already see the ARFs coming in the chat, so shout out to our chat as well.
Absolutely, Chris. I'm excited for that. So if you're watching this, put an ARF in the comments. Let's get it going. I've been aware of this project for a while now, like you said, since August, and I'm excited for the interview today.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, like you just said, August, so it's been out for a couple months, which seems like an eternity in the NFT space, right? If you're around for a couple months. And I know that they've got some exciting things planned ahead, which we're going to dive into today and hear more about, the roadmap, what's ahead. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the team. So joining us from Sappy Seals today, we have Crypto Cast, we have Effie, and we have Gunga. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Hey, welcome to the Roadmap. We're so excited to have you guys on. Sappy Seals, like Mass said, it's a project that we've followed for months. A lot of people out there know this name, which is always a good sign. We also see, the NFTs being used as people's PFPs, which is another good test out there. So let's dive into some questions, though. Before we get into Sappy Seals, wondering if you guys can share a little bit about your history in the NFT space prior to Sappy Seals. CryptoCast, I'll start with you. Were you in NFTs prior to Sappy Seals?
Yeah. I started back in the 2017 bull run, got wrecked like everyone else, and then just decided to put in the work during the bear to get prepped for this bull, and that's what happened. And then I think I started looking at NFTs later last year after DeFi summer chilled out, and started getting kind of really interested because to me before that it was just a PFP or something like that, but it started catching my attention because the utility you can attach and a lot of the other things that we're personally putting into under development ourselves now. So I've been collecting most of 2021, maybe part of it, less serious at the beginning, but a lot more serious in the middle of the year. Yeah.
Perfect. And Effie, how about you? What's your experience with NFTs prior to Sappy Seals?
Hey, before Sappy Seals, I basically had never been. I'd heard of crypto, I'd heard of NFTs, but I was completely new to it coming in. I come from a gaming and esports background, both as a professional player and as a and as a game dev. And it's really once I think there's a lot of once game dev starts getting its eyes into what's possible with NFTs and what's crypto and where this is going, you're going to see a brain drain into crypto projects really quickly. And I'm really happy to sort of just get involved and do it. Learning so much still to this day. Really bullish on everything.
Awesome. We love hearing that, and the gaming side of things. Your history will hopefully play out into some of these questions later on. Gunga, how about you? Any experience in the NFT space prior to Sappy Seals?
Sure. So, I mean, I was definitely learning about NFTs and getting into more like Web3 dev. I'm usually like a Web2 dev. I've been in the engineering world for like the past decade, doing just like big tech stuff. But yeah, over the past year, just been getting more into Web3 specifically. And I was in other NFT projects, both as like a buyer and like helping out here and there. But you know, once I kind of saw the most recent super bull run of Sappy Seals, like it really caught my attention. Just the level of engagement from the community, the intelligence of this founding team. So I just kept popping into Discord, popping in on Twitter, talking to Cass, to Wob, who is the other founder, just de facto doing random stuff to help out, and then more and more. And yeah, now I'm here just trying to make this, one of the leading, best, coolest NFT projects that we can make.
Awesome. Well, now that we got that question out of the way, let's dive into Sappy Seals. So, Cass, one of the founders of this project, tell us how did the idea for Sappy Seals come about, and how were you able to, bring a team together to launch this NFT successfully?
Yeah. So originally, the Seals were just going to be a badass PFP project with some really cool, cute art, kind of in the Arctic vein, was our idea. But then as we started, prepping for Mint and, getting the launch ready, I started talking with Wob, which is the other founder that's still on with the Pixelverse founding team and the Seals still today, about kind of taking this up, many levels. I was in the NFT space through kind of the VC world at that time, and was considering kind of quitting that entirely and just going into building. And so that was kind of my proposal to him, is that we have a really, really incredible community here. We have everything we need to build something much, much, much bigger than just a PFP project, and to really look out for that community that supported the collection from day one anyway, past just, throwing their PFP on Twitter. And so that's kind of where it started. Just the metaverse conversations and, the gamification. And then it just continued to evolve from there as we brought on people like Gunga. That's actually a really important part of this whole project. People maybe don't realize from the outside, we have a team of experts. We're accumulating an absolute A-tier team. Gunga has, lead software engineer experience at Fortune 500 companies that everybody knows. Effie was just talking about, he's not necessarily the crypto guy for the last years, but he is deeply ingrained in professional esports and game design for, projects like Brawlhalla, one of the lead fighting games in the world. And so that's kind of an integral part of what we're doing here. We've brought, people like us that are crypto nerds and really, really enthusiastic, together with people like Effie that have real world game design and a decade plus of professional gaming experience. So we're trying to bring those two worlds together, and not just we have the NFT side, but our game dev side, for instance, is not crypto first. They're gaming first. When you talk to somebody like Gunga, you know, they have expertise in leading massive organizations, and so we're kind of bringing all of these different minds and fields of expertise together to bring the crypto communities, gamification, and DeFi elements all into one body that really will serve this thing long term. Versus, go ahead.
Perfect. Cass, I love that. You know, we talk about teams, and I really like that explanation of, you know, building up a team where different people have different expertise and kind of bridging it all together. You know, again, I mentioned that this project's a couple months old, and sometimes, unfortunately, we see projects kind of disappear, right, or go away, right? And here we have Sappy Seals, where we're just getting started, it sounds like. So I know we got some exciting questions coming up about, you know, what's next. The other question I had, probably for you, Cass, is the artwork, right? You mentioned that originally this was going to be, you know, really focused on a PFP. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the inspiration for the artwork, and how, you know, you decided to lean towards the winner side of things and that direction for the start of this project?
I think it was, you know, a lot of us just really resonated with that cute profile picture thing. I mean, I'm prior service, you know, I'm a combat veteran, retired military. And it's kind of a funny thing that I like the penguins and all that kind of vibe, because it kind of softens things, but it also allows you to kind of play around with that a bit. And so, you know, the marrying of that kind of cute PFP with something like the Navy SEALs, that just fits. Not just that, but SEALs are badass. They're real, like, they're savages in the water. And that's kind of to me, that was kind of a really cool marrying of those two ideas.
Yeah, these are awesome. I mean, just looking at them, they're all pretty cool. My favorite ones, I think, are the celeb ones. The Drake one's really cool.
Yeah. I like the
guys,
SEAL Team 6 ones myself. They're kind of dope. They're dope. Kind of a Call of Duty vibe. Yeah, those
Oh,
are sick.
yeah. Those are sick, actually.
It's only 333 ETH, guys.
Oh, well, wow. I haven't seen these. These are actually really cool.
Yeah. They're my favorites.
All right,
for
guys.
Sure.
So the project launched in August, right? And that sounds like it's not a long time, you know, but in the NFT world, it sounds like forever. It's crazy how time changes when you're in the NFT world. Just so much happens. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about, I know there's staking involved in the project. Can you guys break it down for us a little bit? You know, for someone that may not know what it is, what the benefits of staking are for the project, please.
Yeah. So I think we're just encroaching on 40% staked right now for a 10K PFP project. We launched staking around November 5th. So those are really good numbers. And I think that's because our community really believes in what we're doing. Essentially, when you stake your seal and you receive Pixel token, you are pre-mining the base layer token for the entire metaverse expansion and project that we're putting together called the Pixelverse. So essentially, this isn't just breed it and create a mini seal and that's your utility. We're developing on a very high level play and earn gamification with the Pixel Pets. We're developing partnerships with other projects like 24px and Winter Bears that are both building inside of the Pixelverse. So, when you interact with the Winter Bears art focus and all that kind of thing, you're going to be interacting with those ecosystems using Pixel. When you do breed or anything like that, your Pixel Pets, you'll be using Pixel. When you go out into the open world and interact with adventures and that kind of thing, you'll be rewarded in Pixel. There is a native Pixel token marketplace launching tomorrow. So you'll be able to go in and utilize your Pixel to buy productive assets for inside the Pixelverse, something like we refer to them as the Pixel Palaces, for instance. This is one of the staples in our land ownership system. You could essentially create a business with this palace and maybe throw together an arcade or an art museum or a casino even. And it will all be transacted in Pixel with a small fee attached to every transaction across the Pixelverse that will be put back into LPing, back into rewards and things like that for playing the game. I could go on and on. We're truly developing a utility token here in the Pixel. You're pre-mining an extremely valuable utility token going forward.
Love that. So if I have a Sappy Seal right now, I stake it. How much Pixel is it earning per day? Or can you break it down a little bit more for us here?
So we have the first rarity-based staking contract that we know of. We put a lot of time and effort into making sure that that was done right. We launched it 3 weeks ago. You could check out our Medium article for a little bit for more details, but the rarity bands are essentially broken down from 10 to 6,000 down to, I think 2,000 is the next band, down to, I think 500, 150, and then one of ones. So the base seal will earn 50 pixel per, all the way up to 500 for the one of ones, and 150 for the 150 band. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. And then we've put a lot of time and effort into understanding our wallet distributions on those for staking, and we've adjusted the price of NFTs on our Pixel marketplace accordingly. So we're really trying to put a range of NFTs out immediately so you can utilize those in the marketplace, all the way from the most expensive productive assets like palaces down to NFT starter packs to outfit your home in the metaverse for, 15, 20 days of staking for a base seal, that kind of a thing.
Nice. I like the whole rarity staking thing. I don't think I've seen it before. So I think that's really cool because it incentivizes, for people to buy, obviously, the more rare ones. So that's awesome. So you guys said Pixelverse is launching tomorrow, correct?
Yes, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Well, the Pixel marketplace.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Pixel marketplace is launching tomorrow. That's exciting. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about that? And the whole, collaborations is interesting with 24 Pixel and Winter Bears. How that came to be.
Yeah, it's at the core of our idea with Pixelverse. So, it's not just an NFT community that's going to bring this home in our opinion. We have 4,000 across our wallet distribution. If we could get 50% of them to participate in Pixelverse, that'd be fantastic. A couple thousand people. So in our minds, we are metaverse incubators for the entire NFT space. We're one large NFT community. All of us have multiple NFTs in our wallet. There isn't a single NFT tribe here. So we decided to open our doors to, as many NFT community projects that want to do real development and have a community behind them, to open the Pixelverse up to them and to open our doors to assist them in any way we can. So, for instance, you'll be able to buy a Winter Bears, a 24PX, or a Sappy Seals furniture starter pack for the homes immediately tomorrow on the marketplace. Winter Bears is working on art drops and things like that for the marketplace, those kinds of things. But essentially, we're looking to build an experience in the Pixelverse. We have the gamification side, we can build the infrastructure, but we can't create Rome alone. This is going to be the difference between a Soviet era city and a city like New York. The city of New York is an experience. It has a multifaceted development approach. There's so many people working, so many people having, their hands on different things. And that's what we hope to create in the Pixelverse. So when you go in there, there's gamification, there's art drops, there's charity, there's mental health clinics, there's funky shit from the 24PX community because that's what they do. And the dozens of other projects developing their own angle inside of the Pixelverse, all mutually winning because we add to that experience and the user base in tandem. So it's core. We are looking for other projects, and we want to do anything we can to help integrate them into our vision for our 2D Pixelverse and our 3D future Pixelverse integrations.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great approach. I love that. One question I wanted to ask you guys here, when you guys launch, or I should say NFTs, when they launch a project, the roadmap tends to be something, and I've seen, projects adjust the roadmap as, NFTs continue to kind of grow. Can you guys talk to us a little bit more about the current roadmap, what we can expect and things like that? I know they changed drastically, but I would love to hear more about, what the plans are for, let's say Q1 next year and so forth.
Yeah, it's important to us that we're doing a lot more behind the scenes than a coloring book. I use that as an example
Yeah.
because it's a good example. So if you look at our original roadmap, we had a PFP roadmap, like a lot of people, and we executed on that. And then we proceeded to develop what you see as our roadmap 2.0. And that goes out to Q2 next year, I'm pretty sure. There it is. Perfect. So yeah, Gunga, Effie, jump in wherever you want. It's gonna be super helpful to have your guys' perspective on this as well. But I just want to reiterate, there is a reason that most people do not put these kind of roadmaps out, let alone execute on them. It is a lot of work. We have dozens of individuals contracted across our team already, and we plan to hire dozens more. And it's no joke, but we take it deadly serious, and we have all of the people to execute on the roadmaps that we've outlined and to create an even more robust ecosystem in Pixelverse.
Yeah, I think there's a really good point to be made about sort of the resilience of our roadmap as it currently is. While it's like important to be agile and respond to the space, I think we've struck a really good balance in terms of, because we're so product focused, we're creating an experience for players in the metaverse. It's quite easy for us to have a set roadmap and work towards that and deliver and deliver and deliver. At the same time, though, we are like, the space moves so quickly, right? You have to be so conscious. And an example of that is the whole kind of gamified yield farming just popped up. DeFi Kingdoms hit big. We've just seen Wolf Game and all of its, derivatives come out. And we're like, we see that idea, and it's not one that we've discussed, but then we see it and we're like, okay, this is interesting, this is interesting, this is innovative. This belongs in the Pixelverse. It's a Web3 platform. How can we iterate on this? How can we fit this into the roadmap and build it in without detracting from our focus of building this product that will draw a user base in and provide value for communities who want to work with us and interact with that flagship product, which is Pixel Pets, the play to earn game, the play and earn game.
Yep, putting a product in front of people and modules that actually is in line with the market, needs at a time. Because it's funny, I'm a pre-sale investor in DeFi Land and a few other projects like that, the VC that I was with. But so that's been in my back pocket since day one. Is like, I want to implement gamified UI for DeFi elements, but he speaks exactly on the biggest point here. We have an incredibly flexible team. We have a team of experts where we can put that kind of thing right at the forefront of our first iterations, almost out of nowhere, and we'll get that shit done. We have a really high caliber and flexible team. So we were able to put that, right to the first iterations of our open world in the Pixelverse.
Yeah, I think the other really important thing is we don't want to put out any schlock. Like, we really want to make sure we're delivering high quality products I think that as much as, there's a lot of eyes on NFTs right now, there's also a lot of noise. And we want to make sure that everything that we come out with adds to the value and the overall, feeling of quality for our brand or for our products, for our community. A big kind of example of that is like this Pixel Marketplace that we're coming out with tomorrow. It's a little bit delayed versus what the roadmap was, but I think what we're able to deliver right now is going to be so much better than if we rushed it. For example, like, I was playing around with the mainnet contracts last night, and the gas emissions for a regular mint for like an ERC 721, we were able to basically half that just by having some clever optimizations in our smart contracts. And like, people are going to be very happy with the amount of gas that they're going to pay versus what a lot of other projects have you pay, just because I think the current state of Web3 development, it's a lot of people who are getting in quick. And the quality of development is just not there right now. I think in a couple of months, maybe we're going to be at a point where people are really understanding how to build Solidity contracts. But yeah, it's impressive almost on how much most devs don't care. And I think we really want to show that we care a lot, and we want to make things that are awesome and things that won't, waste money and waste everyone's precious ETH.
There are no concrete gardens here. This isn't Ponzi-nomics. We're building the soil, we're tilling that stuff up, we're giving it the nutrients, we're finding the right people, doing the work. And what you're going to find is a very, very long-term and sustainable ecosystem. And that's just a perfect example of it. Caring about those details is how we lay that groundwork. But like he said, sometimes, we're going to ask for a little more flexibility than I think other projects will, because they just want to get it out. And like, no, we want to build these, whatever blocks, you know, we're placing, they're going to be placed correctly, square, flush, everything crossed and I's dotted.
I love that. I mean, there's a lot to that roadmap, and I'm so excited to hear you guys all talk about it again, you know, sharing each person's, you know, development strategies and focuses really helps to, you know, shine the light on Sappy Seals and the roadmap going forward. I want to circle back to something we already kind of hit on. One of Maz and I's favorite questions to ask teams when we interview them is to talk about, you know, what are your favorite traits? So we already heard a little bit about SEAL Team 6, but outside of that, Cass, what are some of your favorite traits, Sappy Seals, or maybe an underrated trait that people...
23 jersey.
23 jersey.
Hell yeah.
23
right.
jersey. How is this being slept on? I don't get how
being
people
slept
don't-
on.
it's
You
the
guys heard
GOAT.
it. Anyone listening and watching right now, 23 jersey being slept on. Not financial advice, of course, but go ahead and take a look at 23 jersey. Effie, I turn to you. What are your favorite trait or traits for Sappy Seals here?
It's got to be the headphones, modeled
The
off the same ones I'm
headphones.
wearing. 24/7, I have them on. And they're also undervalued in my opinion. They're useful. It's utility right there. Yeah, you know what? The other thing though is, and I'm going to plug a little bit. Something I think we have is just we had the seal face makes for amazing, like it works amazingly on merch, and our merch has been really successful so far as a kind of like a clothing brand. Just abstracting that small face piece and sticking it on like a New York cap. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're repping right now.
Repping that. Let's go.
We've got a really great
wear
merch team that have been
all the
pumping out some
time.
great stuff.
Awesome. And Gunga, how about you? Favorite trait or traits for Seals here?
I mean, it's really hard not to like absolutely fall in love with the no face mask if you scroll up a little bit. Yeah, that dude right there, like that's
Nice.
hilarious. I love Spirited Away. I love Miyazaki. Yep. I have a couple of no face masks myself, but like I think like my favorite is still the Bull VR, the one that my seal's rocking. I just think it's super cool. And the Pick Seal version of it is like, whew, really nice. But yeah, Bull VR.
Awesome. And it looks like the chat is sharing their favorite traits right now. So go ahead, guys, keep it going. Share your favorite traits in the chat right now, so we can take a look at some and, you know, look at which seals everyone is liking out there as well. I want to get into another question that we always like to ask. You know, in NFTs, of course, we hear a lot about, you know, the floor price, right? And that can be a basis on whether a project is successful or not, right? If the floor price is above what the mint cost was. But another thing we always like to ask is, you know, how do you measure the success of the project outside of the floor price? So Cass, I'll start with you. You know, what measures of success do you have set for Sappy Seals here?
It's all about execution. I don't even look at the floor, personally. I don't really care about the floor short in the lower time frames. I'm kind of a firm believer that if you do the work, if you pay attention to the details, that, you know, the value will come. I don't try and force things. We don't sit here and, you know, there's no Ponzi-nomics. You don't have to comment on Twitter to, you know, access your staking rewards. Just pure execution. And on a level that I think outpaces pretty much any other NFT project in this space right now. There's a lot of them I love as well, don't get me wrong, but it's just all about execution. We work, that's the truth. So it will translate. It's just a matter of time.
Love it. And Effie, same question for you. How do you measure the success of Sappy Seals going forward?
I think it's about what people are building, and this ties on to execution, but it's more like what is the quality of the product that's going to be produced at the end of it. And that's something I think we're going to see in the next sort of big re-rates for everyone's floor prices are going to be, okay, you've had time, you've capitulated, you've had, you know, funding, what did you come out with? And yeah, pretty much that. So I think we'll see a lot of changes in the next 3 months or so as projects get their sort of prototypes and alphas out.
Agreed.
And Gunga, same question for you. How do you measure the success of the project?
It's all about the floor price, baby. No, I think I'm kind of in the same school of thought. Like floor price really doesn't matter, but I do think like with respect to floor price, I think price support is really, really important. Like when we were in that pretty big bear market a couple weeks ago, like just seeing the floor price like dip super hard, but then like kind of shoot back up just because, you know, seals were on discount and people like kind of ate them up. I thought that was really, really impressive and really important. But in terms of like, I don't know, pricing economics, I think average price is also really important. Like if everyone's just eating up floor seals or like the commons because they're cheap, I think that, you know, that might be good for like flippers and stuff. People who want to like make a profit or, you know, people who want to get into the project. I think that's really important. But I think the real health is going to be on, you know, overall traffic, overall engagement. And then, you know, real belief in the project, I feel, comes from, are people shilling out, you know, 1 ETH plus on the rares? Are those still happening? And I think the system we've created with the on-chain rarity-based staking is like, you know, kind of a perma engagement of people wanting to buy rares. And that's what we've been seeing too. Like the average price has actually been pretty good. And people will be ready to buy those rares as they come at a discount, like in tandem with the floor seals.
Love it. Thanks guys for, you know, sharing that. Again, one of our favorite questions to ask, you know, because we could look at the floor price all day, but it's nice to have, you know, other metrics to judge projects on. And I love you guys' transparency, your honesty. There was a mention of merch a couple minutes ago, and I wanted to circle back to that. You know, that's something we hear a lot about from NFT teams. And you guys have already launched quite a bit of merch. And I actually saw, you know, we're almost to December, right? Tomorrow's December 1st. So I saw on the shop that there is, I hate to call them ugly Christmas sweaters because the seals are QAF. So I don't know how you could call them an ugly Christmas sweater, but who came up with the idea for Christmas sweaters, and how has the reception been on these? Because I have not seen other NFT teams doing this.
They're so good.
It has to be it was our community managers, wasn't it? John Mooney.
I think it's John Mooney. Yeah.
Yeah. They're on point with all that. They do some. Yeah, and we had a Halloween collection as well, and it'll just continue. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the drive for the merch has really
so
come
rad.
from people wanting to represent, and that's just been really touching to see. It's not like we launched, you know, a special marketing push to say we're a clothing brand. It really was organic. People were asking when merch, and we delivered.
By the way, I will jump back for a sec because I don't want people to get any ideas. On that previous question, I do think there will be a very solid re-rate in the next market cycle. I just don't really pay attention to that. We're just laying the groundwork so that when that tide rises, our boat's right there ready. So I want people to think that like I don't care about their, you know, their cash, their investments in any of this. I do. I just don't think the way that I care about it is by, you know, creating Ponzi-nomics that don't stand to the test of time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for that clarification, Cass. And I mean, those sweaters, I don't know. I mean, Maz, we might have to get some of those sweaters to rock on an episode around Christmas
We'll send you
time.
guys a couple.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are they only available so do you have to have a Sappy Seal to purchase, or how's that going to work?
Nope. The merch
Nice.
store is open for anybody. We'll send you guys some gift cards over DMs, and
Yes.
you can throw
hell yeah,
some cool
appreciate
stuff
that.
down.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
of course.
Thank you, guys.
I'm looking forward to getting mine too. Actually, I just got my custom seal a few days ago. So
Love that.
Nice.
Question, guys. So let's talk a little bit about community and Discord now. We want to shift it over there. We know Discord, you know, Twitter seems to be like the most popular areas for communities to drive NFTs. You know, how active are you guys on Discord as of now? And do you have any favorite rooms that you are in your own Discord?
yeah, my favorite's general, but you know, I've talked to a lot of people about this even since the beginning. I've had people roll through in the general, as crazy active as it is. They'll be like, why is your name red? I'm like, bro, I'm a founder. And they're like, oh, I just grind behind the scenes. Sometimes I forget to even come up for air and say what's up. I just grind. I don't know. I get hyper focused and I'll kind of forget. But my favorite's general, just because it's fun. Honestly, it's kind of wild. Like, it's had to tone down a little bit, you know, in the last month. But yeah, my favorite's just general.
Agreed. What about you
Um,
guys? Effie,
Yeah,
Ganga?
I think we're probably one of the most active dev teams in our Discord that there is, honestly. So we're constantly in touch with the community. We're a pretty decentralized team ourselves, and we carry that on through. So as the sort of Pixelverse designer, I'm constantly in contact with the community about sort of ideas they have, things they can generate. We've got a guy in the community who's building a game. He's just building a game. He says, "Hey, do you want to put this in Pixelverse?" Well,
Nice.
of course, we'd love to have it. But aside from that, so like there's a lot of buzz in general. But we also just launched a mental health channel, which is on brand for us in terms of having people take care of themselves in the community. We've been in some mental health spaces as well, and we're interested in sort of metaverse mental health initiatives. That one's gone down really well, and really good vibes down there.
Yeah, same. General and mental health, I have nothing really to add. Basically all their thoughts exactly. But like I would like equate general to like a Twitch chat almost. Like it's just constant, just hilarious stuff happening, and just being able to see even like relationships develop between people, people becoming friends like in real time. It's just super, super cool to see. And yeah, I mean, I would say maybe even have to lay off the Discord a little bit, like just because like I'm always checking it and stuff.
So
but like,
distracting.
yeah, but I mean, I love popping into Discord and seeing what everyone's up to and seeing everyone interact. But yeah, I think it is pretty rare to see at any given time. There's pretty much always a dev or a founding member toying around in chat, talking with people. It's really cool.
Love that. And that's the cool thing about NFTs too, is the communities behind the scenes. A lot of times now more than ever, I feel like we talk to, people from Discord probably more than we talk to our real life friends at a certain point, So it's nice to find that community where you can be a part of. And, it seems like the Sappy Seals has that strong vibe to it. You see them here on the chat, on Twitter, and everywhere. And I love that. That's a sign of a strong community. So that's props to you guys. Now, question about Discord safety, right? So we've seen a lot of Discords get hacked, over the last month or so, especially with newer projects. Have you guys taken any measures of security, or is there anything you guys are monitoring to make sure, there's no hacks involved, for the community?
Yeah. We've taken a communication approach first, and then Ganga has been advocating for probably 6 weeks now, 2FA, that we have some sort of a secondary verification. In the event that something happens, we can verify that is that person. I just had an incident 2 days ago with that. Somebody was posted a fake screenshot of one of our mods. That was, them shilling another. It was a whole thing. And then I just dug into it, and it was very easy to suss out. Yeah. So we try and educate ourselves, because, the lesser educated in this space are usually the primary targets that they'll get through. So just trying to go from the bottom up and communicate.
Yeah, I have a background in large scale anti-abuse. So this is something that's always been top of mind for me since I've joined the team. And I also want to say that our mod team is really, really sharp. I'll say it. I think we have the best mod team in the game right now. Super active. They really care about the community. John, Mooney are always, and everybody else, all the SEAL veterans, SEAL lieutenants, they do a great job of spotting things as they happen. I think Mooney even in the middle of the night said, "There's 10,000 bots that just got added to the server. Let's fix it." Mooney in the chat right now. Let's go, Mooney. And I think I'll announce it right now. I think we're going to be doing a nice little surprise airdrop for the mods. As a way of showing our appreciation. So yeah, shout out to the mods.
Love that, man. Yeah, shout out to the mods. They're such an important part of a community, and I think that's awesome you guys are doing an airdrop, because a lot of times they put in the hours in the chat. So yeah, good stuff, guys. I love that.
There'll also be a portion of mint rewards in future and those kinds of things that go to mods, because they're a key part of a team that does get overlooked too often.
Agreed. Well, shout out you guys. We appreciate this interview. The goal of the roadmap is to introduce projects, that we personally like, and also we feel the community and people that are new to NFTs may like as well. So we appreciate all the insight. Is there anything else that you guys want to leave us with before we take questions from the chat here?
No, honestly, actually, yeah. If you have any other NFT communities in mind, let us know. You know, we'd love to talk to them. Yeah, and see if they can't work something out in the Pixelverse. Yeah, that's really important to us. Even if it's not in the Pixelverse, we're just looking to continue connecting with you know, badass NFT communities. So hit us up. We can. There's all sorts of cool stuff we can do together. So if you got any ideas, come into our Discord, talk to one of us.
Love it.
Can't implement it.
All right. Well, as Matt said, you know, we've got a great community here. Our chat, I know we've got quite a few seals from the Discord joining us today too, plus our loyal viewers and listeners. So we always like to go to the chat for some questions here. So I'll go first. We had a question earlier from Biggest of Cheeses, and I really like this one. It's, what is the biggest thing each person is most excited for with the project going forward? And then they list Igloo, pets, or something else. So Cass, I know it's hard to pick just one, but what would be the thing you're most excited about going forward?
The Pixel Pets. Has to be the Pixel Pets. Dude, our game designers like Effie and Daiku are absolute gangsters. They helped develop Brawlhalla from the ground up, man. These guys know what's up. And the more that I interact with them day to day and I look over their Figma, the more I'm like, I can't wait to get my hands on this game. So it's got to be the Pixel Pets.
Love it. Effie, how about you?
I'm straight up there. The Pixel Pets is my baby. It's,
Had a feeling.
I can't wait to get something in front of, like, I really cannot describe how excited I am to get something in front of people in the NFT community, a game that not just, it's not good for NFT, like blockchain game standards, it's good for, you know, game standards in the gaming industry. It's really, I think it has room to blow things out the water in terms of complexity and just fun. And as well, it will be esports ready almost out the gate.
Nice.
So there's a lot of hype for that.
And Gunga, same question for you. What are you most excited about going forward?
I have no idea. Everything's so exciting. I'll probably just to keep the hype train up. I think Pixel Marketplace tomorrow is like, that's kind of been my baby over the last few weeks. So yeah, shout outs to Pixel Marketplace tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, Native Token Marketplace is exciting. That was my second one, but I just had to roll with the pets, honestly.
Gas optimization is so exciting as well, Gunga. Like, it's MVP.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe.
I don't think there's nothing kind of like it right now. Like NFT community owned storefront like this. So to be able to launch a first of its kind smart contract is just really, really rewarding for me. As much as it's going to be rewarding for everybody else as they get to, you know, spend their harvested tokens. So yeah, we're
hosting a whole week of NFT Pixel Marketplace NFTs giveaways this whole week. So keep an eye out. Come check out the marketplace. See what you think. We'll be giving away NFTs, some Pixel. Yeah, come just test it out. See what you think. Give us your feedback, please. It's really helpful. We need that. Yeah.
Love that. Question for you guys. So if I wanted to buy something for the marketplace, but I don't have any Pixel, can I buy Pixel somewhere and then buy items from the marketplace?
Yeah, we actually just LP'd 100,000 in USD and ETH to Pixel on Sushi Swap, and that's just the beginning of our LP incentives and intentions. So you could go on to Sushi Swap, grab some there. Yeah, anytime.
That's great. Yeah. So if you're staking too, you can also put it on. That's great. I love to see that.
Yep. We're actually going to be buying some more to supplement my my farming, because I want to snag some of those more productive assets. I think Gunga just did as well. We're all pretty. We're going to be careful. We want to leave you some, but we have high conviction in this project.
I work too damn hard not to get a Pixel Palace. I'm going to get myself a Palace. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And these
love
first.
to see it.
Yeah.
So we have another question here from Biggest of Cheeses. Are there any other partnerships being worked on? Can you guys drop any hints?
Yes, there's a lot of people in our DMs. We got to be real careful. We have to respect other other projects, so we can't mention them. Sorry, but yeah, there is a number. I expect to have by quarter two dozens of projects lined up that are on either developing actively in the Pixelverse or are, you know, having a Pix avatar created so they can run around all of our badass creations and just participate. I want dozens and dozens of projects, but officially we can only speak on 3 right now. So,
but they're coming, so keep your eyes
they
out
are,
for that.
yeah. I can't wait to release more. To me, that's the most important part of the Pixelverse is the NFT community as a whole, and making sure we're serving them. And
I'd like to make the quick point as well that for people who, like, if there's any communities that are worried about sort of their size, like they know they have a skill set, they know they want to build something, they have a vision, but they feel like they don't have access. I've just got to like reiterate, get in touch with us, because if you have the vision, we want to help it happen and make it real.
There's a lot of assets and value that projects can provide. You know, they don't shortchange yourself. We have a fantastic team, and we will have all the treasury and the team members to pull it off to help you guys. And that's our intention. You know, we see ourselves as a larger NFT community incubator into the metaverse.
Yeah, this is great, you know, because we see, you know, the cute profile picture is just almost like the attention grabber, right? I love to see how you guys are building so much behind the scenes, and it's not just a copy paste picture people, you know, they want to buy, right? You're buying into this whole project. And that's what I love about NFTs, seeing these projects like you guys, you know, working behind the scenes for this next phase of NFTs and utility is awesome, man. So props to you guys. I love what I'm hearing. You know, it's great stuff. Really excited for the future of this project.
Yeah, definitely. You know, again, big shout out to all 3 of you for joining us on the roadmap today. This has been really, you know, exciting to hear more details about Sappy Seals and what's ahead. So on behalf of Maz and I and, you know, Benzinga, we want to thank you guys, you know, for your time. And we look forward to talking to you guys soon and keeping updated on what's to come.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We really appreciate the space.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you guys all have a great day. I'm going to pull everyone down and hit us up about the sweaters. I can't wait to rock my Seal sweater here on the stream. So thanks guys once again.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
And chat, make sure you guys follow them on Twitter and Discord.
Yeah.
You know,
let's drop Twitter there. I dropped that Medium article again, guys, where you can find out more about staking. Maz, I mean, you and I talk about staking a lot, right, with these different teams, and rarity-based staking, that's new to me. I had not heard that before. Yeah. So shout out to Seals for, you know, again, doing something different and going above and beyond to, you know, provide value and community-driven project here. What do you think of that?
Yeah, you know, I love that because we are at a time in the NFT marketplace where it's so easy to make quick money, right? You launch a project, maybe not so much now, but you could have launched, you know, Fiverr, you launch 10K pieces, you sell out, you make a lot of money, and you don't have to necessarily produce any value. So to see this team taking this to the next level and working for, you know, we saw their roadmap. It looks absolutely amazing. You know, you can tell they're working hard behind the scenes. Because that profile pic, you're also getting so much more. And I think we're in that phase right now where we're seeing who's going to make it, who's not going to make it, who's trying to, you know, venture out into the deep end and really swim, you know? So love to see it, man.
Yeah, definitely. And again, Maz, shout out to our chat. We're getting a lot of nice compliments today on the show. This is why we do the show, right? We're about the community. We want to provide education. We want to do interviews with teams so we can get, you know, that behind the scenes look at projects, hear about what's coming up. And also we hear about some of these projects from our chat. So again, if you're new to the show, let us know what projects you want to see on future episodes in the chat now during the live show. Hit us up in the comments after the show. You can hit up Maz or myself on Twitter. Let us know. And also Benzinga's Twitter account too. And share this video in your Discords, right? Let your projects know, hey, we want to be on this NFT show. And, you know, I'm already seeing a couple mentioned in the chat there. Angry Ape Army. Yeah, hit us up. You know, we've got a couple NFT shows. We're doing Twitter spaces. We've got room to interview more and more projects. So, you know, let us know. Maz, that was a great interview. Almost lost track of time here. But let's get to some news and headlines, right? It's Tuesday. So we always like to take a look back at the previous week. I do an article every week on Benzinga based on data from CryptoSlam, which ranks the top 10 projects by sales volume. No surprise, Axie Infinity, number 1 again. But number 2, a bit of a surprise, Maz. The Sandbox moved on up to second place, up 43%. The Sandbox has been on the top 10 list for the past couple weeks. We're seeing strong interest. And then Wolfgame actually came in third place, 35.4 million, followed by CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, 2 well-known projects. Then we saw Journey NFT Club, Farmers World, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and then rounding out the top 10, Vox Collectibles and Noondles. So Vox had not been on the list for quite a long time, and this was one of the biggest gainers of the week. Anything else jump to you, Maz, on the top 10? I mean, again, the Sandbox, that virtual land is just heating up between Decentraland, Sandbox, and others here.
Yeah, virtual land and then play to earn gaming, right? It seems to be the biggest drivers here, right? And I love to see that. I still think that's going to have, a massive run in the next year or so. And we see the volume there in, money. So, I mean, I love to see that. Those are the big things that catch my eyes. We still have Bored Apes in there, which is great. They've we'll talk about the news behind that today as well. Let's get right into it, actually. Bored Apes, Chris, we've seen a lot of celebs buy Bored Apes more and more now. It seems like we have a culture, right? We have the hip hop athlete culture getting into, the Bored Apes specifically more than any other NFT. So this weekend we saw Future and DJ Khaled change their profile picture with their Bored Apes. And, it's crazy to see it happen so fast. I've seen multiple rappers now. I'm just scrolling through my feed and I see they have a Bored Ape, which is absolutely crazy to see that when just, a couple months ago, no one really knew what this project was. And it minted at like 0.04 ETH. So to see this is absolutely insane how fast it's happening. And my question is now, when is, Drake, who's one of the biggest, rappers out there, artists, I would say too, you can see him getting one. You'll see a bunch of other artists. And then it comes down to the question, is 10K, NFTs enough for this community? That's where it comes. 10K is not a lot, man. So that's when
not
we're
a lot.
Yeah. So we may see a supply shock, and I do see this value going up. And back to the question, Chris, do you think Bored Apes overtakes CryptoPunks as far as value?
I said a couple weeks ago, I think Bored Apes passes Punks eventually. And I think I got to stand behind that. And I think the PFP test alone, Maz, right? I mean, look at this. Future buys a Bored Ape and immediately changes his Twitter profile picture. DJ Khaled has not changed his PFP yet. So that's another event that can drive attention, right? That happened with Jimmy Fallon, right? He made the purchase. He announced it on his talk show, and then a day later changed his PFP. So, you got a couple events out of that one purchase. And going back to that, MoonPay, right, which helped facilitate some of those transactions, Maz. Yeah. MoonPay bought like 6 more apes. So I don't think Future used MoonPay based on me looking at his PFP. There's still some people out there, I think, that are going to show that they have apes here real soon through a partnership. And I love your call out, right? Win Drake. I mean, look at Sappy Seals. There's projects that are making NFTs based on Drake. And yet Drake is still not really in the NFT space. So Drake, I mean, if you're watching, win ape, right? When are you going to get a Bored Ape? And Maz, along with Bored Apes, wasn't there another celebrity that also made a PFP change over the past couple days?
Yes, and I want to show this one. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lala. She's pretty famous in in the hip hop world, in the influencer world. She has 4.6 million followers on Twitter. She changed her profile pic to a cool cat. And as far as I'm aware, there's no sponsor behind this, at least on the front. I don't think Cool Cats paid her to make this a profile picture, right? Maybe someone paid her to promote something. I'm not sure behind the scenes, but for her to make it a profile picture, it's huge. And now, that goes, what is the next blue chip? Does Cool Cats have that run to become, in the same category as Bored Apes? Personally, I'm biased. I think so, but it's great to see, what these influential people are going to buy and make their profile pictures. So that's going to be exciting to watch as well.
Yeah, I mean, Maz, I know you're a little biased because you have a cool cat, but I'll echo that statement. I think Cool Cats is absolutely a blue chip. And the thing that really did it for me was like the partnership with Time, right? When you saw a major magazines that could have picked any NFT, right? They went with Cool Cats because Cool Cats has that cool factor, that cute factor, that collectability factor. It checks so many boxes. And now you're getting celebrities buying Cool Cats as well. I mean, you said it, Lala, over 4 million followers on Twitter. Like there's companies, like publicly traded stocks and companies that would, beg for that kind of publicity, right? And they would shell out millions of dollars to get someone to change their profile picture to their product, right? But NFTs are able to do it for free in some cases, just because a person likes the NFT and likes the artwork. So I think that's a big validation for Cool Cats here. And I love it. And again, we're seeing more and more athletes and celebrities. And Maz, you said it, right? Is 10,000 apes enough? Well, that just further, I think, strengthens the argument that apes are probably going to go up in value, right? As more and more people want to own one. So definitely keep an eye on that. And Mads, turning, I just mentioned, publicly traded companies, right? And looking for some good PR and to take on the NFT space. We have one of the most NFT friendly companies all of a sudden, Budweiser, right? The epic beer, brand, right? They own so many different beer brands, but Budweiser itself, they have now launched an NFT project. So they launched these cans yesterday. So 1,936 unique digital cans representing 1936, the first year of the Budweiser can. They sold these at $499 and $999. You could buy them with US dollars, or you could buy them with crypto. And the thing that I really like, Maz, we were talking about this before the show, right, is you can transfer that NFT over to OpenSea fairly easy. We haven't seen that a ton with these projects where you can buy with US dollars. A lot of them then are hosted on other platforms. And as we know, OpenSea is the largest NFT marketplace out there and really the big one that everyone looks at. So I really think this strengthens Budweiser's launch here. And I mean, again, these were $499 for some, and the floor is now 0.35 ETH, which is over $1,600. So if you were able to get one of these cans, I mean, a nice profit. And again, there's only so many of these. And Budweiser, I think they're going to keep going in NFTs. They changed their profile picture on Twitter a couple months ago to a Tom Sachs rocket. They also own beer.eth, right? The domain name service. They're all in, I think, on NFTs. What do you think of Budweiser here, Maz?
Yeah, so I personally went through the experience. I got a couple myself, and it was crazy using your credit card to buy this NFT. But I will give them props. It was very easy to send it to your MetaMask wallet. To your OpenSea wallet. To your OpenSea profile, and transfer it to ETH and be able to sell it if you need to, or whatever you want to do with it. I thought that was really cool for them to do that. But it was weird paying your gas fee in US dollar and using your card. So you paid a gas fee, you paid a tax, and you paid for the NFT, which is really strange to see. But I love it because it's going to make it easier for normal consumers to be able to get into it. You have a lot of beer fans; they'll buy it effortlessly for the initial launch, and we saw that with the NFL as well when they launched NFTs for $10. Macy's launched an NFT during Thanksgiving. I think that was free
during the parade. That was a big one too. Another big company. Great shout out, Maz. Were you able to get any of the Thanksgiving Day parade?
No,
NFTs?
I missed it.
I missed it too. I signed up and everything, right? I pre-registered and then I forgot. And I actually watched the parade with my kids. So and then they mentioned NFTs so many times during the parade, Maz. Like, it's insane to see this mainstream event, an annual tradition, and they're talking about NFTs throughout the coverage. Like, that's where we're at, right? We're still early, but you're seeing these big companies get in. And I mean, look at those auctions, right? Look at those prices. So they're auctioning off these one of ones featuring some of their old balloons, but then they also did free NFTs if you got in early enough. I mean, it just strengthens that argument, right, of big companies getting into NFTs.
Yeah, and again, personally, I try to get as many as I can of these. Like for example, Budweiser, right? Let's say I get 3, I will sell maybe 1 or 2, make profit, get initial investment. You want to hold on to these, right? These are the first NFTs of Budweiser, right? This is the first NFTs of Macy's, NFL. I mean, think year, 2 year, 5 years down the line,
Yep.
these things will be worth a lot, right? We've seen how much people pay for memorabilia, physical memorabilia. Now, I think the digital world, the genesis of each. I mean, it's not just a quick flip from a lot of these. It's a long-term goal of a big company that you're owning. So, I would keep an eye on any of these big companies dropping NFTs and try to get them. They're actually launching them at fairly, reasonable prices, I would say, Chris, and not a lot of supply either. So that's interesting to see. So
yeah, I was
keep an eye out
surprised the
for that for
Budweiser.
sure.
I was surprised the Budweiser one didn't have more supply yesterday. Just based on them, really being all in on NFTs, I really thought they'd do more. So great call out, Genesis project here. Again, not financial advice, but I think if you look back at this project, months from now, years from now, I think the values will have gone up significantly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what do we have next here, Chris?
All right. So Bored Ape mobile game and Mutant Ape Yacht Club mobile game. Did you hear about this one, Maz?
Oh, I did see a tweet about it. So they're going to start, launching the games, right?
That's
For
this
apes
week
and one
that
for
you
mutants,
can
yeah.
start signing up on the 2nd. And then the game begins Sunday the 5th. And it'll be 7 days. It was originally going to be 10 days. They shortened it to 7, but it's 2 separate games, one for apes and one for mutants. Maz, I love this, right? Again, one of the biggest projects out there. And in order to play this game, you have to own an ape, right? Or a mutant ape. So again, these exclusive things offered to, ape holders. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about this game, what the prizes are, who the winners are. We're going to see people talking about it on Twitter. So we're going to get, some excitement building further on. I mean, look at this game. Like, look at that.
That was fun. Yeah.
Like, they worked on this, they took some time on this, and now here it is. And it just looks fun, right? And I don't get to play it because I don't have an ape. So I will be living, through other people playing and sharing on Twitter.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love that.
All right. And then speaking of big companies, Maz, again, here at Benzinga, we start with stocks, then we get into crypto, we get into NFTs. One of the biggest stock stories of the year, AMC Entertainment, right? The movie theater. They have teased that they were going to get into crypto, right? Allowing you to purchase tickets with Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and others. They also teased earlier that they were going to launch NFTs, right? They said that maybe we'll do NFTs around blockbuster releases. Well, Maz, I don't know if you saw this. They did NFTs. Let's just say that. Spider-Man No Way Home tickets went on sale Sunday night, 12:01 a.m., and sites crashed, right? Movie ticket sites crashed. AMC site crashed. The first 86,000 people that are members of AMC's Stubbs A-List, Premier, or Investor Connect who purchase tickets for a AMC location get an exclusive Spider-Man NFT. So again, here you have a major company, AMC, offering a free NFT, right? This is free if you buy the movie ticket. It's on the Wax blockchain, which is one that we've seen, others use. Less worry of gas there than Ethereum. Maz, what do you think of this? This was pretty successful. You think AMC now does this with all their big releases where they say, hey, if you pre-order tickets to this movie, we're going to give you an NFT.
Yeah, it's similar to the NFL, what they're doing, right? I feel like everyone's testing the waters, especially with ticketing, right?
Yep.
Like we're going to see it for concerts, for movies, for games. You get to have a digital copy of it. And yeah, I think we'll see it happen more and more often. I would love to see it. Maybe you said it's 86,000 supply.
86,000 supply for the Spider-Man one. Yep. And I think there's 100 different artwork versions. So they won't all look the same.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the different designs are.
Yeah, so I would love to see maybe less supply, but I know it's free, and I know it's maybe just to get people introduced to it, which is
Yeah.
great because now 86,000 people have a NFT, and they're, even if it has no quote unquote aftermarket value, I mean, they're getting into the whole NFT world and how it works, and I think we're in that phase where people are experimenting, which is bullish for the whole cycle as a whole. So yeah, I would love to see that. And personally, I mean, we already do that digital stuff too. I don't know for about you, but like tickets and stuff, put
Yep.
in your wallet, things like that.
Yeah,
Just it
exactly.
makes sense. Why not have it on the blockchain as well?
Great point, Maz. We're going to a paperless society, with tickets, right? I mean, I remember years ago, I have old tickets saved, Maz, right? From concerts I went to as a kid. It's a collector's item, right? You don't get that anymore. A lot of times if you get tickets, it's a piece of paper, right? You print it out, you take it to the venue, and then you get to keep this long piece of paper, right? Doesn't have the same feel to it, right? You don't really want to put that in a frame.
Yeah.
Well, now you're getting digital tickets and you're getting NFTs out of it. And that's something you can, display online. You can, hold forever, on the blockchain. So I like that, Maz. That's a nice shout out here. Digital tickets. Yeah. I mean, I think the smart companies, Ticketmaster, the NFL, AMC, I mean, it's so easy, and you already have built-in fan base for your products and a built-in fan base for NFTs, and now you get to connect them together. I think this is only the beginning. That Spider-Man NFT. I think you see more movie theaters and movie companies start to go more NFTs here.
Correct. Absolutely, Chris. And then one last thing I think before we end today, OpenSea was down earlier. No data, no floor prizes. Can devs do something when Coinbase, man? This seems to be happening a lot. It seems to be fixed now, but OpenSea, I think the biggest thing with them, Chris, is their lack of transparency and communication to the community. And it almost comes off as like, we know we're the big dogs, so you guys deal with it. So I'm curious to see what happens. And it comes back down to the conversation of when Coinbase, and does Coinbase take a large market share? What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. When Coinbase, and also, OpenSea got a huge valuation earlier this year. I think there's talks of maybe going public, but really, like, you look from the outside in, and the company has this massive audience, but it still has all kinds of problems. And I mean, I'd like to see those problems go away. I mean, so Maz, I looked up projects earlier, and like, how like when there's projects that, have become worthless, it no longer shows a floor price, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was looking at good projects and there's no floor price. It just has like the dashes. And I'm like, wait, what? And then you scroll down and, the cheapest one is 0.3, 0.35 ETH. And it's like, okay. So literally there was no floor price for some of these projects. And at the top of OpenSea's website, it said, we're encountering problems, stay tuned for updates. And, if you're someone who launched one of these NFTs and, you want your project to be successful, it's got to be kind of frustrating to see something like that happen, where all of a sudden your project doesn't show a floor price. It doesn't show the right data. I mean, OpenSea literally said, that they had problems with data. I mean, data is pretty important to NFTs, right? So that's kind of frustrating. And Coinbase still has not announced a date, and I really just want them to say, hey, this is when we're launching, and maybe that'll kick OpenSea into gear here because, like you said, they're the big dog. They don't have a ton of competition right now, so I feel like they can be a little bit more relaxed, but that competition's coming, and I think it's going to come fast, and I would be scared if I was OpenSea right now a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the side piece as a user on OpenSea, I want to be the main piece. So hopefully Coinbase can treat us right, and they'll win my heart over. But what do you think, Chris? Do you think Coinbase launches before end of year?
I feel like no. I feel like if it was before the end of the year, we would have heard already. I feel like they're going to give us a month or two heads up. So I mean, I guess unless if they announce, tomorrow, I feel like they're going to give more of a lead time because they're going to hype this up, right? They already talked about the projects that they're working with. I think then they're going to share that artwork. They're going to build up, maybe do some interviews, some Twitter spaces or something, really build that hype up. So I feel like we're still a couple months away. What do you think? You think before the end of the year?
I think so. I think there'll be not a stealth drop, but I think there'll be like you know, like a slow,
week or something.
like a quiet run maybe
Okay.
before the full run up. I
Yeah.
think they'll launch it and just kind of, because the thing is a lot of FOMO, right? So it's like right now there's a big list. You know, I'm assuming hopefully with the list they give the first million people access right away, and then maybe, you know, since we're waiting, kind of like how Clubhouse did. Do you remember Clubhouse? How they kind of made you wait.
I was just gonna say that, Maz. Do you think they tier that, right? There's over 2.5 million signed up. Last I looked, I was in like the top, I don't know, 25,000 or something. I mean, I signed up early, shared the link. You know, yeah. Do you think they tier that then and let, you know, a certain amount of people in at a time?
I would think so. Kind of. I remember with Clubhouse, there was an Elon Musk chat, and then everybody was rushing to get into the Clubhouse, but you had to be invited, and it just created this whole FOMO cycle. I could definitely see that happening, something like that around here. Just because it's driven, NFTs are definitely driven by a lot of hype and FOMO. So I can see that creating a good way of creating some traffic to their side there, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you guys heard it here. Maz is saying before the end of the year. I'm saying 2022. Who knows? We will see. And of course, we will cover it right here on the roadmap when we get more details. Want to take a minute to shout out Sappy Seals once again for joining us on the roadmap today. Another great exclusive interview here. You guys even got to hear about some favorite traits, some upcoming projects. I mean, they actually have news of something launching tomorrow, right? December 1st. So that's pretty exciting. You get that immediate, you know, news item. And then we also have an interview tomorrow. So we will be talking to Spoiled Banana Society. This is a pretty exciting one, Maz. I got to do more research, but I know it was started by some Bored Ape owners, and it is connected to fantasy sports. And I'm a big fantasy sports fan, so I'm excited to hear more about, you know, bridging the gap between NFTs and fantasy sports. And then we have another interview on Thursday as well, which we'll save the hype for that one till tomorrow. So go ahead, guys, smash the like, subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel here to keep the roadmap going. Maz, anything else to share before we head out today?
No, I see, shout out Mike. I see him in the comments asking what happened with CloneX, and there's a lot to talk about there. But
maybe
we'll talk
tomorrow.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So come back tomorrow, Mike, and we'll share our thoughts with CloneX for sure.
Definitely.
But besides that, no, man.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you again for tuning in. If you're watching live, if you're watching this on replay, leave us a comment in the YouTube chat and let us know, hey, I watched this after it aired. And hit up Maz and I on Twitter. Let us know again which teams you want to come on future episodes. And as always, stay tuned. We have pre-market prep at the close coming up at 3:30 to recap the day of stocks and cryptos. I know there are quite a few stocks moving today, so I know I'll be tuning in to hear all about that from Spencer and Joel. Maz, until tomorrow, take care and have a good night, buddy.
Likewise. See you guys tomorrow.